Hi folks, this is Donnie D. I want to make a real quick video showing you my homemade Polaris Ace windshield, one-piece windshield. To buy one from Polaris like this will run you about just under $280. I built this one, or made this one. I'm sure it's not as fancy and maybe not as nice as the one they sell, but I made this one for somewhere between $35 and $55. I don't remember the exact cost. It was somewhere in that range, and I certainly don't remember how much each item cost with it, but you'll find out when you go shopping. Most of the stuff, the most expensive thing obviously was the piece of Lexan that makes up the windshield. The rest of the stuff was, you know, $5-6 bucks for the stuff that I bought for that. But let me show you what you're going to need to make the windshield, and then I'll tell you how I did it real quick. First of all, you're going to need a piece of Lexan big enough to cover your opening. You'll need some of this little stripping. What this is, you get it from the auto parts store. This is stuff that people put on the edge of their car doors, vehicle doors, to keep them from paint getting chipped if they open the door and hit something. Don't have to have it, but I thought it was a nice touch. You'll need 4 of these little knobs. You can find them at a hardware store or auto parts store too, probably. These are the ones that have the threaded shaft on them. You can also buy them that have like a threaded nut. But I used the ones with the threaded shaft on it. Then over here you'll need let me get over here where I can see it. As you can see, I've got a nut right there, just a regular old hex nut, and 4 of these little things you see here. I'll show you what it is. It's actually a plastic cable clamp. Sorry about that. These guys right here, it's used to clamp cables to a wall. Electrical cables. These are the 1.5 inch ones. They come in a bag of like 10 or 12, cost you about $5 or $6. For that you'll need 4 of them. And I cut one of these little screw flanges off and used the other one. You can see how I did it right there. There's the one I didn't cut off. It wraps around. The one on the other side is cut off. Also, you'll need a little bit, probably a little bit of this. Let me see if I can show that to you. It's this little weather stripping foam. You can see a little piece right in there. And you'll use that according to what you need. And once you make the windshield and mount it, you'll see if it's scrubbing or you know, scratching up or anything. You'll put a little piece there to kind of cushion it. But in order to make it, basically all I did was I took a piece of scrap plywood I had in my wood shop and made a template by tracing and scribing around the opening of the windshield. Then I used that to cut the windshield shape out of the Lexan, and then set it up on the Ace and held it in place with a couple of spring clamps, big spring clamps, and figured out where I needed to drill my 4 holes for my knobs. Put the knobs through there, put the little pieces, these guys here, once I cut the little end off, put them on there, set the nut on it, and tightened it down. That's all it is to it, other than putting this little stripping stuff around it and cushioning it with the foam. Real simple to do. You can make one start to finish in probably 30 minutes to an hour. Like I said, if you buy one like this, it'll run you just under $280, at least according to the catalog. That's how much they are. I built this one for somewhere between $35 and $55. As to how durable they are, I don't know. It's like I believe this is 3/16 to 1/4 inch Lexan. I'm sure it'll hold up just fine. It's not going to shatter like glass, that's for sure. And I've used it several times on rides, and it hadn't given me any trouble. As a matter of fact, not too long after I made it and first put it on, a friend of mine and I were headed to a ATV park about 2 hours away, and I forgot that I had the windshield on it, and we had driven about an hour at highway speeds, and I happened to look back and said, oh my gosh, I left the windshield on there. But it was holding up just fine, been running 55, 65 mile an hour, hadn't blown off, so we just left it on there. Of course, I took it off when I got there, and because we didn't really need it that day. I used it back the first hour, then it got warm and didn't need it. Took it off and put it back in the truck. but it works great. What it does, the main benefit I get out of it is if you're riding in hot weather, it kind of makes the ride a little bit hotter, but it will block grit and sand and stuff, rocks and stuff like that may be thrown up, and tree limbs and stuff like that. Doesn't do much for dust, but I really don't use it much in hot weather because it just makes your ride a little bit too hot. But the best thing about it is in the winter, if you're riding in the winter time and put it on, it makes all the difference in the world as to how comfortable you are, how much of that cold air it keeps off of you. That's the main benefit that I see of it. But anyway, Donnie D's homemade Polaris Ace windshield. Just want to give you a quick look. If you have any questions on where to find the stuff that you need to build it or make it, and some of you probably come up with a better way of doing it. In fact, you can even buy the lock and ride connectors from Polaris. You may want to get those and put on there, and then you'd have probably even better windshield. But if you have any questions on it, just pop me a question and I'll do my best to answer it. For now, this is Donnie D, and I'll see you later. Bye.